Hey everybody, my name is Rydo and we are going to be deconstructing PT slash Silent Hills in Minecraft, made by Duddlecraft. See, it says made by Duddlecraft. Press to restart. Let's see, and if I click this one, it's his YouTube channel again, which I have subscribed. So major spoilers right there at the beginning. If you have not seen the previous video I just released, go find it out. It should be in my Spotlights playlist right before this one, where we played this and now we want to see how it was made. So what I want to do is change myself into game mode, let's see, creative. And then it's been updated. Interesting. It didn't even stop me from doing that. Little barriers here. These are barrier blocks. When you hold barrier blocks, ooh, you can see what you're doing, see them, but when you don't hold them, you can't see them, or they go away eventually. Also, little trick of barrier blocks, if you don't have your video settings with all the particles on, you can't see them. So there was a whole thing here I missed. You were supposed to walk towards it. Alright, let's see what that... so you could have gotten just a little bit closer. It's hardly like we could have gotten much further. But by walking away, you can, when we turn off the barrier block nonsense, you can see back some of what has been done. But we want to see more. So we want to fly, fly. Always have this problem. You have to double tap the space. Nothing so special here. Just text. I could fly over this wall, but it would frankly just be easier to go through it. And it doesn't seem like there's anything of note. Now we are very high, so I will at a later time decide to go down to the ground and see where we are at. See what, if any, ground actually exists or would ever generate. Pretty simple trick here to reset the game. Just a couple of command blocks. There is a lot of command blocks, and we will not be bothering to click on all of them. He said, I believe he said he did like 3 or 4,000 of them, and so we're not going to bother to look at a lot of them. Let's see. Silverfish, some kind of silverfish trigger. Some big chunks of command blocks here I bet are just particles. Set things to setting ambiance for specific rooms. If you were a map creator, it would probably take you a while to figure out which this section is and which sections it isn't. This looks kind of like the beginning. Watch out. And then this has got a huge timer that goes over here and is causing some more text things to appear, causing a lot of the effects. So lots and lots of commands blocks. Seems like he is very heavily into his command blocks, which are usually the most efficient way to do it. It doesn't, in comparison to the code series, where command blocks didn't have as many possible commands, things are a lot easier now with command blocks by far. You don't have to create spawners and lock people into running very old versions. All of this stuff is lit up, so it's already been triggered, of course. If we saw a big chunk of command blocks that haven't been triggered, that might be a point in which I missed. Let's see. Notes. This is all about playing music here. Just sound. Random door opening. I got a little bit of a block here. So let's see what's in here. A bathroom. And just a bathroom. So how did he make it so that... Let's see. Let's go to F3 mode. I made a mistake, certainly, in deciding to upload the video while recording. Let's see what we can do. We will go to the video settings and move the chunk distance down to 12. How about that? Come on, fly. Interesting. Oh, I can't fly. It's given me the jump boost. I got too close. So that is not the reason. It's not because I'm running out of memory that I can't jump as I thought. It's because I got too close to the command blocks that were giving me the negative jump boost. So we'll go back and change the render distance back to 16 because that doesn't matter. So, can't be in creative mode, you really need to be in spectator mode. Spectator mode doesn't allow me to punch blocks, but it does allow me to fly through them. So you've got this room. This looks very much like the first room we went through, and there is a bathroom in there, and then nothing on this wall. Just so he's made the same area several times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and looks like 5, but this is where the walls and walls connect. So not as many as I thought. And how high up are we? Accidentally hitting the button. So what's down here? Ooh. Doesn't look like there's anything. He just put us up in the sky. Probably just out of preference. So that's a lot less rooms than I thought there would be. And then this way connects to how many more? 1, 2, 3. So we're up to 8. And that connects to 1, 2, 3 more. So we're up to 11. And then that connects to 1, 2, 3, which is 14. So overall, that looks just like 14 of them. Not a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, actually, there's only 13 of them, if I could count right. So definitely some trickery is going on here, because we did not just go through that area. that many times. Uh, One thing I'll say, you want to be careful when you run command blocks like this. There's a little known bug that if you put too many command blocks, whether they're activated or not, in a single chunk, that it will cause a massive amount of frame drop. So he possibly knows of that bug and has spread this out between two chunks, but that looks really long, and you might want to consider that. Spread it out between 2, 3, or 4 chunks if you can. Uh, let's see what this is. Now, in creative mode, I can't right-click the command blocks. Let me turn off the F3 mode for you. So, we're going to do probably a lot of going between creative and that. So, redstone. Looks like he's got some kind of clock going on here. And then, is it doing clone and replace? Clone, name, I, name D. Teleport I to D. Teleport I to D. So there's some character that's getting moved around in this. So this is probably how he convinced the item frames to go to the player. And then we are back to not being able to fly. If I could find the thing that's giving that ability, that would be great. It would have to be on a clock. It would have to be something that's on a clock. All kinds of command blocks here that are getting triggered here. Here, this one's on a clock. Let's see what this is. I thought wouldn't think those sounds would be getting made. Test for player, and when you find the player, test for a player in a radius of 2, and if he's in a radius of 2, oh, it gives you the nausea and all of that, so we don't want any of that. So, bye-bye to that. Oh, man. Let's go back to spectator mode. Really? Let's go into creative mode and drink some milk. Oh, good old milk. I did not think I'd be drinking milk in the middle of this thing. There we go. Good old milk. Does a body good and does a mind even better. Oh, this is interesting. So you have this dirt, and it's the plant. And then there's powering. Something's powering. Oh, they're powering these iron things. Because if I flip the switch, they'll go down to the ground. Okay, so that's nothing that interesting. And then you have this. What is the deal with that? That they chose this aquamarine base. Interesting construction thought. I mean, nobody in the game would have ever seen that. It's completely covered up. But I bet it helped him when he was creating it. And then we've got, let's see, another trick is to toilet lid down, toilet lid up. And some buttons here that do nothing. So if we go up here, we should see in none of these areas do the buttons do anything. At least as far as directly activating anything. There is a way to test to see if a button is clicked, but it would be easier just to, uh, let's see. Here's another one that's running a test for command, and then summoning air and things. Lots of effects, testing for the player to be nearby. And here's a hallway that's been zigzagged the other direction. So, more randomness there. I wonder, it must have teleported me. One of the features that Minecraft that came out directly from the code uh, was an improvement in smooth teleporting, so the player couldn't notice that they've been transported to a place that looks exactly like the place they were just standing at. Lanterns simply being powered by redstone. Nothing too crazy there. And then we have command blocks right under the lever for uh, the phone. So if I had clicked the phone in some earlier parts, it would have said, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. So depending on which of these levels, but what triggers us to stop being moved between level is somewhere in here. Let's see. No gravity, base plates. This might be all the text right here. Armor stands. Just summoning things. Interesting. Then we've got some test for commands, I bet. Test for the player nearby, and summon some stuff, and do some stuff. Particle snow shovel. Lots and lots of it. So, a lot of trickery going on here. And a lot of it would take really long time to figure out, personally, whether or not it's, let's see, times, records, clone. I bet this right here is the very beginning. It wouldn't make much sense to have this here otherwise. Did he just put that there to show off? What is this? This is interesting. This is a barrier blocked 5 or S. And I can see the T way over here. Oh, you know why it was barrier blocked is because it ran the commands to bring in this later on. All of this not barrier blocked. I don't know why he would have bothered to put barrier blocks there. Maybe just to make sure nothing spawned on it when it was cloned and there wasn't any creatures there. So when we got to the end and it said Silent Hills, then faded in the the S at the end, so it said Silent Hills instead of Silent Hill. This is where it cloned it from, which I believe this is right where we begin, or at least something like that. This might have been just a test room, but no, I think you probably started right in this room. That would make sense. Command starts right there. You start right in this room. So I'm seeing just a couple other things, and then I want to do two more things. And then we're going to end this episode. There's not a lot we could really grasp. There is some things we can grasp from this, like the fact that almost none of this is being done with any trickery at all, without except for command blocks. I have not seen a single block update device. I have not seen any pressure traps or uh, anything else like that. Just nothing at all. He's got a lot of redstone getting activated here. Again, I would worry about this. Is probably too many command blocks in the 4 chunks even. You need to spread those command blocks out more, even if it doesn't make as efficient of a thing, because of just a bug in Minecraft. It's not the creator's fault. It's Minecraft. This is a lot of command blocks, and I don't know. A lot of these seem like clone blocks, clone commands too. It's like not that they are. Uh, let's see. Seems like it's moving things around. That, that's really weird. And we've got this little point here. Oh man, I don't even know if it was teleporting me. When you come over here to this section, it really does feel like there may have been very little teleporting going on at all. It could very much been he just, instead of using redundant things, just copied and pasted an MC edit or something. I mean, look at this thing. It's just going further and further. And so let's see. And this is the very end, I think. This is the part that says turn around, I bet. Yeah, I'm not sure if much of any of it was command blocked out. And then he's cut some more area down here for, like, see, right there it says don't look back, and it teleported me to this point to say some more stuff to get me to Silent Hills. So that was definitely the end. But we certainly didn't just go through 13 rooms. If somebody wants to go watch my previous episode and count how many different rooms we went into, I mean, with all this, and they think that there was no teleporting going on of the player at all, uh, let me know. It's possible. It's definitely doable that way, but you could have been so much more efficient. Uh, I'll say that to the map creator. He needs to rethink. Like, have one base one and then just clone the same area. Don't have command blocks going all over the place. You've got uh, thousands and thousands of command blocks and no real reason. And then we've got this. So I just want to taking a screenshot for no real reason. Uh, seems like he just, for probably a real far away, made this obsidian uh, area. Made it by default just be this tall and at 60 height. Now there is reason that you don't want it to be at a very low height, because eventually you'll get nether blur, but I don't think nether blur is even being used anymore. So that's 3, that's 2, and then bedrock. And then, so everything below is just this. Interesting. So this is a custom super flat world he started off with. So from any direction we go, we will just see this. And he went all the way to about 50, I would say. Yep, 50. 50 blocks high of these things. And I guess as a map creator, you might want to start at 50. That way, if you do run into an issue where you have to cut down, you can efficiently. And then when we get back to his main creation as it's loading in, let's see. It looked like in the middle of some of his areas that there might be some land or something below. Let's go down again. No, I guess I was mistaken. I was in spectator mode, so I probably was flying through all those blocks and didn't realize it. So that's what I've got to say about all those things. So what I want to do is I'm going to go into spectator mode. And we're going to just run through this and see how fast that was, just as a comparison. This is where we started, I'm almost certain. This was added later to lock us in. And then we come in here. Really? Come on, load in. Come on, load in. There are things there, I promise you. Let's see. Let's turn off F3 mode again. We don't need it. I have a terrible habit of leaving that on. So you go here, there's your little bathroom here that you couldn't have gotten to. Your little stand and your little stairway. And again, you go through here, it locks it behind you. So that's one. We're not going to bother to let that load in. Nothing here. Nothing on any of these doorways. Sorry if this is herky-jerky. Flying through blocks is not the smoothest of movements. So that's 2. We're going to get a lot of the effects, but not all of them. So that feels about right. 3 so far. And then this one was the one that the door wouldn't open until you went in the bathroom. And, well, until you opened the door. And I can't open the door. And then it went there. I don't know if that was the 4th one we went through, though. I feels kind of like we may have gone back up at a certain point and done those rooms several times. So it may, I mean, this can't possibly be the next room. Stuff did not happen that fast. It's the next room where something was significantly different, but there were definitely times when we went through and only a little things were changed. Time now is set to day, and it shouldn't be. It should always be close to midnight. Here you can see a zombie here is causing the particles and the knocking. That's exactly how we're getting that. Only in spectator mode would you be able to see that. We've got some blindness. I don't think we're supposed to have blindness. But whatever. Next room. Still feeling the blindness. And hearing sounds and having things told to us. At a certain point in PT, you look through the wall and you can peep into the bathroom. That never came about, or I never saw. And there were several things in PT that weren't done, and I would love to see a game that took this the concept of PT and made something very unique and of its own self for this concept. The clone functionality and all of that would be working. This is interesting. So it's the ghost guy with his head sideways holding a lava bucket. Now we never get to see him, so he's either there just as a Easter egg or as to make sound, or maybe you can't peep through a hole. I don't think you can. If you put your head through one of the paintings and there was no brick behind it, you would be able to peep that way, but I don't think that would work. Still a very good trick. I wish I knew how they were doing that. I think he's summoning like endermites or something. Lots of command blocks, I bet, to do that. So probably a lot of stands. Like here's what I was talking about, the overuse of item stands. Just all this is item stand after item stand after item stand, if I'm correct. I think they are. And I think you put a little flare there and put a skull on the bottom of the item stands, just for anybody who might be a spectator. If you played more with these sounds, you might get some people scared. Hearing a lot of it for long enough time, I could see people getting scared if you went further with it. And here's our guy again, shaking his head all over the place. More command block trickery. Here's your item stands being teleported around. That was probably one huge chunk of those command blocks, was just teleporting these guys in different directions to make it swing. And the rope is probably attached to an item stand or something else, and that's why it's swinging the same way. But even getting several pieces of rope stuck to the same fence post is a bit of trickery. You know, one thing you can do, since we're in spectator mode, we can go up here and look at this area that you could never get to in real PT. And there's nothing there, and I don't know what I expected to be there, but it's pretty cool. Maybe in one of these versions there is something up there, but I don't have time or enough interest to go check them all out. This is a very loyal, very as loyal as I think he could have been, without my major caveat of thinking that he should definitely get a resource pack made to change the pictures and put actual audio instead of the radio being text. But this is pretty loyal. It goes and does most of what PT does. It's from the beginning to the end. It got the beginning, it got the end, as best as it could. A resource pack to change endermites into cockroaches would be cool. So, again, upside down redstone block and glass. It's all done by item stands. Yeah. being overused. There are more tricks than just using item stands and teleporting them. Plus, when you do stuff like that, you get a lot of entities in your game. It takes up more RAM. So if there's a better way to do it not using item stands, I would recommend it. This is the bathroom I punched out. And then we are into the crazy area, and I don't believe we're being teleported anywhere. Well, we can't be, because we're in spectator mode. And so because we're in spectator mode, there's no way. And so it really does seem like a lot of this isn't really necessary, but it may have been the easiest way to do it, because he's triggering these voiceover prompts. Again, that would have been a lot creepier and better if it was actual sound. There's very little scary in the sound that's going on here, when you could have done a lot more. Uh, Not with vanilla per se, but uh, with a custom resource pack. I think you did. I think the map creator, I'm speaking directly to the map creator now, did his best, which is close to almost perfect using vanilla. And the next challenge, the next step would be make a resource pack, make something new and unique. No turning back now. Yeah, this is this is really good. If any of these pictures aren't in different places, I would recommend going back and changing them ever so subtly. Try to increase the eeriness. Maybe every now and then try to mess with light shading so that one uh, one piece of the wall is lit a little bit more than the other for no real reason. Just randomness like that. Maybe put a broken style brick in the hallway every now and then. Change things up to just as subtly as possible to be an artistically uh, and so this is like where it all starts messing up, and that's the end of it though. So so we would be triggering a lot of that stuff, and eventually we'll get to the actual end, I think, or we would have to turn around and start walking this way, which I can't do. And let's see. When we go to creative mode, you've been chosen by answering the phone. So to unlock PT in normal mode is the uh, is the what was I saying? I'm sorry, I've hit the ending, and it caught my attention enough to make me forget what I was talking about. So to teleport you back, where are we? No, don't make a screenshot. We're like at 52. So when we go over here and just hit the wall, spectator, it is so dark. Where are we? Let's see. Time set day. What is going on? How can it be so dark out here? This is a trick. This is real spooky. How can it be so dark? Blindness. Alright. So. The reason I can't see. There we go. Is because it gave me blindness. And so. Where are we? We're in a different section. It ended right there. It put us here. And then we're going to walk through this last bit. And through this last bit is the ending. Let's turn off F3. I keep leaving it on. Sorry. He flies into me, which is all ever so spooky. I need my milk, my stamina juice. Don't. And then don't. Can't go back. So it locks it on you. I don't know if it always locks it on you and then unlocked it, or should have been locked it by default. That's how all the others have been. I would have really loved if at the end you went through this door, but that's never. And that's the end. This room was we were given blindness, and we're in a dark room, and we're back to the end. So there obviously, it's really hard to tell actually whether there was any teleporting going on or not. I almost want to put it at 50-50. I think about half of the time there was, and half of the time there wasn't. I will say right now, when you're doing this ending, if we could go into a different mode so that we don't have the cursor on and the bar on, that would have been nice. Then you can walk towards Silent Hills, and it doesn't do anything or teleport you anywhere. It does make you fall through the thing if you happen to have knocked all the barrier blocks out, as I had. And from this you could see some of what you did. And then you can click to restart PT. And then we're in this place, which is where? Come on, let me out. This box right here with the red stone flickering on and off through command block trickery. So you start in this room, then you get teleported to this room to actually start the game. You end right there. It all comes full circle. I think there's probably, you could have done a lot more redstone trickery. Maybe that would have taken more command blocks or less. There's definitely probably some way to use less command blocks, and you'd almost certainly have far too many in one chunk. And you're adding the map maker. I keep talking directly to the map maker, but he's got too many. Definitely, he's adding some lag that could have been avoided. I believe it's. I don't want to say for certain, but I think it's like 63 command blocks in a chunk is the maximum we want. Anyways, that's the end of Deconstructing PT. The playable trailer for Silent Hills. I would really like to play Silent Hills. Hopefully by the time it comes out I will be equipped to both A, have a PlayStation 4, which I don't have, and B, have a good machine that can capture that video and my commentary and turn that into something else. So that's where we're at. We're done. As always, I ask that you like this video, share it with your friends, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out with YouTube. If you want to support me further through fan funding, you can do that by clicking my name, which takes you to my main YouTube page, a great place to subscribe to my channel. But on the right also is a blue button that says support this channel. And if you click that, you can donate any amount. Well, not any amount, actually. It's between $1 and $500, but any amount you do donate will be greatly appreciated by me. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google Plus or friend me on Steam or Battle.net, that information is down below, and it would be greatly appreciated if you did follow me on all those services. That helps me out. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.